In a quiet suburban neighborhood, young Victor stumbled upon a stray dog wandering on the streets. The dog, with its matted fur and pleading eyes, tugged at Victor's heartstrings. Filled with compassion and a desire for companionship, he decided to bring the dog home, unaware of the horrors that awaited him. At first, the dog seemed friendly and grateful for Victor's kindness. They spent days playing together, forging a bond that Victor cherished. But as time passed, subtle changes became apparent. The dog's once gentle demeanor gave way to unpredictable aggression, and its eyes gleamed with a sinister madness. Victor's family grew increasingly concerned as the dog's behavior grew more erratic. They tried to find a way to safely remove the animal from their home, but fate had other plans. One fateful night, as darkness blanketed the house, the dog's true nature revealed itself. Awakened by sounds of snarling and growling, Victor's family rushed downstairs to find chaos unfolding in their living room. The dog, now consumed by rabies, attacked with unrelenting ferocity. Panic set in as the family fought to protect themselves from the rabid creature's vicious onslaught. In the midst of the chaos, Victor's parents managed to usher him to safety, locking themselves in a separate room to shield him from the terror that had invaded their home. They dialed emergency services, desperately pleading for help as the rabid dog rampaged through the house. Minutes felt like an eternity as Victor's family anxiously awaited rescue. But when the authorities finally arrived, they were met with a horrifying scene. The rabid dog had turned the house into a blood-soaked battleground, its frenzied rampage leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. With the help of trained professionals, the rabid dog was eventually subdued. But the damage had already been done. Victor's family, traumatized by the experience, had to come to terms with the aftermath of the terrifying ordeal. The once peaceful home now bore the scars of the rabid dog's rampage, a haunting reminder of the darkness that lurked beneath its innocent exterior. In the days that followed, Victor's family sought solace and healing. They underwent a series of medical treatments to protect themselves from the rabies virus, their bodies bearing the physical reminders of the encounter. But the emotional scars ran deeper, leaving a lasting impact on their lives. As for Victor, the trauma he experienced would forever shape his perception of trust and companionship. The incident left an indelible mark on his young heart, instilling a cautionary fear that would accompany him throughout his life. He would forever be reminded of the dangers that can lurk beneath the surface, even in the most innocent of beings. Victor soon began to live a normal life, as before. In an effort to explore the secrets that lie beyond the usual environment, he ventured into the forest one gloomy day. Unknowingly, this innocent escapade will lead him to reveal a sinister secret. As Victor went deeper into the forest, the air became heavy with an eerie silence. The usual sounds of birds chirping and leaves rustling were replaced by an anxious silence. Anxiety settled in his heart, but curiosity pushed him further into the unknown. Suddenly, Victor came across a terrible sight. Dead animals, their lifeless bodies twisted in unnatural poses, littered the forest floor. Horror gripped him when he realized the scale of the terrible scene before him. Fear gripped all his instincts, prompting him to run, but something forced him to continue investigating. Driven by a mixture of morbid curiosity and a thirst for answers, Victor continued to insist. With every step, the forest seemed to close around him, suffocating him with its dark secrets. The once familiar trees now seemed gnarled and twisted, casting long, sinister shadows that danced with malice. As Victor continued his gloomy journey, the whispers began to echo through the trees. Haunting voices whispered ancient incantations. Their words were filled with an otherworldly power that sent chills down his spine. The forest itself seemed to come alive, as if it kept a terrible secret that it was determined to protect. In a clearing, Victor stumbled upon a forgotten altar, decorated with decaying offerings and symbols of darkness. He was terrified because he had unknowingly stumbled upon a place tainted by occult rituals and forbidden practices. The forest became a refuge for the evil come, and he fell right into their midst. Fear squeezed Victor's heart when he realized the danger he was in. Desperate to escape, he turned to run, but the forest seemed to conspire against him. The trees twisted and twisted, creating a maze of darkness that caught him in its grip. Panic spread through his veins when he realized that he was at the mercy of the sinister inhabitants of the forest. Just as hope began to fade, a ray of light broke through the oppressive darkness. The ancient defender of the forest, the spirit of nature, appeared before Victor. With a gentle touch, the spirit guided him through the maze, bringing him to a safe place. When Victor escaped from the clutches of the forest, he looked back for the last time, witnessing the wrath of the forest that descended on the coven. Nature itself rebelled against those who desecrated its sacred land, regaining its power with a vengeance. From that day on, Victor carried the weight of the dark secret of the forest in his heart. Memories of dead animals and an evil coven haunted him, constantly reminding him of the darkness that lurks beneath the surface of the world. But he also carried the knowledge that there are forces more powerful than evil, guardians of light, ready to guide those who are lost in the shadows. As Victor grew older, he dedicated his life to protecting the natural world, ensuring that the darkness he witnessed would never consume innocent lives again. And although the secret of the forest remained hidden from the rest of the world, Victor became its silent guardian, eternally vigilant, always ready to face the darkness if it ever raises its head again.